Hey friends, my name is Steve Guttenberg, and I am the audiophiliac. And today, well, before I get started, I want to do a commercial for myself for my Patreon page. That's this here. I will link to it below. And what that is a place you can go to subscribe to this YouTube channel for $1 or $2 a month, whatever you feel comfortable with or more, and help keep this commercial free. That's it. So, on to the real news of the day. Yesterday, I was at Adam Wexler's shop. It's called Stereo Buyers, and he set up this system for me with a pair of um, JBL Summit speakers and some vintage Marantz electronics, and I'm going to cover that in a separate video. But I had this thing that kept running through my head as I listened to this vintage system, beyond that it sounded really good. But it was a sound that you just got. You know, a lot of times when people hear high-end audio systems who aren't audiophiles, or even if they are, they hear it and they go, yeah, it's good. You know, it's like you have to think about why some audio systems are good. Some are just like, yes, I get it. This is an amazing sounding system. And that's what this system was yesterday. And, you know, for a number of reasons, but it made me think back on my many speakers that I've owned over the years, and I spent a long time with a set of quad ESL 63 electrostatic speakers. I had them like for 7 or 8 years, and I really liked those speakers. But I really came to think of them as cerebral speakers. I thought about why they were good. They were very transparent. They had really great imaging. They did a lot of things well. But it wasn't like a visceral experience. It wasn't a body experience. It was something that I thought about and realized how good they were. But I listened to this JBL system yesterday, and within 10 seconds of listening, I was like, yes, this is amazing sound. And I think if I took anybody off the street and played it for them, without them even seeing it to be influenced by the way the whole thing looked, they would say, wow, that's a great sounding system. I think anybody would recognize that as a great sound. And I say that with a background of doing demos for people thousands and thousands of times in my 16 years or so of selling audio. So I know what it's like to plop people down in a chair and play them systems. And I think this system would have really connected with people because it's working on a different level than my quads or any electrostatic speaker in my experience, or you know, Magico speakers, Wilson speakers, TAD speakers. They tend to be very clear, hyper transparent. They do a lot of things well, but I think you have to be a pretty sophisticated audiophile to understand what it is that they're doing well, you know, as opposed to a body speaker like those JBLs or Klipsch's or Zoo speakers. You know, they just like reach out and grab you and they go, yes, this, you can't ignore me. This is an amazing speaker. You have to listen to it. You have to boogie to it. You have to physically react to it even sometimes, you know, depending on the music that's playing. So these two classifications of speakers, and I'm just making this up, cerebral, you know, head speakers and body speakers. One gets you up here, one gets you lower down. And that's, of course I always want to hear your opinions of this, my ideas, but I want people to consider this option instead of just, you know, defining speakers by panel speakers or box speakers or dynamic speakers, electrostatic speakers, that maybe how we react to the sound of the speakers should be another way of classifying speakers. You know, that's certainly my experience. I mean, you know, the reason that my Quad 63 era came to an end was I started to review speakers. So every time I had a good dynamic speaker in my house and I pushed aside the quads and I set up the dynamic speakers, I said, you know, I'm having more fun. I tend to be listening to more Led Zeppelin and less string quartets. You know, it just sort of pushed me in a way to listen to different kinds of music. You know, Mark Levinson, of all people, once gave me a line that is one of the most, I wouldn't call it profound, but it was definitely it kept me thinking for a really long time. He said one of the symptoms of the audiophile disease is you wind up playing music that sounds good on your system, comma, to the exclusion of music that doesn't sound so good on your system, or music that doesn't grab you. And that's another way of saying what I just said. There's music that works, and you don't have to think about why it sounds good, and then there's music where you think, yeah, that's really good. It's two different kinds of things. I think I'm done now. My name's Steve Guttenberg. This is the Audiophiliac Daily Show. Please subscribe and do all those good things, and I'll see you again soon.